Hi guys, I'm here today with one of my best friends, Chantel. Shanti. Everyone clap for Shanti. Thank you. She is a wonderful friend of mine. If you've not gotten the chance to know her, you need to. You're missing out.
So nice.
And I'm so excited to chat with you about generosity.
Yeah, so happy to be here. I'm excited.
Yay!
It's going to be good.
Yay. Okay, we're going to start off like we always do.
Yep.
How have you personally been impacted by generosity in your life?
Yeah, I feel like there's so many ways that I've been impacted by generosity, but one that sticks out the most is I think people just allowing their time to be given to me, just spending time in the love languages. Quality time is my favorite. And so I love when people will, even if they're busy or they've got things to do, just being able to take some time aside to be generous. And I think even two people have just been so generous with their gifts to give them back to me or to teach me something or things like that. But yeah, I spent a lot of time sitting with great people who have a lot that I can learn from, just being able to feel like the generosity is poured out to me by what they've handed, like what they've given me. So yeah.
Was it smart for us to sit by the street? I don't know.
No, but it's
the
okay.
cars just stopped passing. That's so beautiful. You are someone that I know to be so generous. I would actually say there's a few people that have marked me in my life when it comes to generosity in different phases of my life.
Yeah.
And I had the privilege of being roommates with you a few years ago, which
Yeah.
was so fun. And
Yeah,
you
it's
taught
so
me
fun.
just like being up close to you and being able to see the way that you live and the way that you love people is a marking moment for me
Yeah,
of generosity.
that's amazing.
Like there's passing moments that are like impactful and amazing, but then there's
Yeah.
like the moments that really, really mark you, and the people that you see just live in a way that is so beautiful when it comes to
Yeah.
generosity. And you are one of those people in my life
Yeah.
that I have just gotten the privilege to see be so generous in so many ways, with your time, with your resources,
Yeah.
just thoughtfulness. I think is something that I've seen
Yeah.
you be time and time again, is be so thoughtful. So thank you for living that out and for being an inspiration.
Of course. Yes.
I would love to ask you, when it comes to like our culture that we live in and just the way that we often can, in a good way, be seen for the things that we do,
Yeah.
what do you think it looks like to be generous for the right reason? And do you have to be seen in order to make an impact
Yeah.
when it comes to generosity?
Yeah. I think that you said that we were roommates and you saw some of the generosity throughout my life. And those are things that I don't talk about, people may not see, but obviously living with me there were things that you were able to see and do. And I think that never it was any of that to be seen or to show.
Yeah.
But I think just in that proximity, we were together and so you got to see. But I think that sometimes generosity can be used as a way to point eyes in your direction or look at her, she's doing this, or to gain attention in the wrong manner, which I think probably in my early years of immaturity, that's maybe something that I did. Like I can remember back in junior high doing things for people to try and get into the crowd or to try and be a friend with someone. And I think that was just a way that my gift of generosity may have been twisted or, perverted by the world in that sense. But I think that being generous is more of a heart posture, and it's not for people to see what you're doing at all. Like it's that. And so I think even with my gifts of generosity, making sure that when I'm doing it, even practically, is in a hidden moment.
Yeah.
It's not in front of a bunch of people. It's not, pulling aside, writing a letter, praying for someone, spending time with them, without even other people even knowing.
Yeah.
And I think it's special in that regard of if it's the Lord's doing and there's no gain for me in that, then it shouldn't be something that I, even sometimes just not saying anything to anyone about it.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So do you feel like the reward for you has been in the hidden moments? Like, is that something that you've gleaned from generosity? Is the reward of the things that are done in private and in secret and not in the public eye per se?
Yeah.
Or what do you feel like the reward has been for you, I guess? Because,
Sure.
in those moments.
Yeah, I think the reward is that I get to be a part of what the Lord is doing in someone's life or a part of something that He wants to do for someone. And I get the honor of being the in between, the middle ground, the bridge of something. And so I think the reward for me is more of, whoa, Lord, you love this person so much that you're asking me to do this. And so the reward is less about whoa, that person was excited about their gift or their time or I was able to actually act on it. It was just that the Lord was thinking about this person and I was able to be the liaison. And that confirms more just the hiddenness of that part of my gift, that I'm just passing it on to the next person. And so, yeah, I think the reward is in that. The reward is being able to be used of the Lord. And I think in my early 20s, it's all that I asked the Lord was to be used by him. And then here we are, right? Being able to be used in whether it's a monetary gift or a prayer or hanging out with someone or just being someone's friend, and just being reminded, well, Lord, you love them that much that you would do that, because people have done that for me. People have seen me really, and it's because the Lord is acting in that regard. Hey, she might need a hug. She might need like financial blessing. And so I think, that's the reward for me. And there's no actual tangible reward in that. It's just being able to be that person. Yeah. And he gets the credit. I don't. And it's my favorite part. It has nothing to do with me. Yeah.
I love that. That's sweet. That's something that Jessica and I talked about in our episode. Was like just the beauty of friendship that comes from generosity. Yes. And that comes from, like, I think stewarding that as a habit is what brings about friendship, because you truly aren't doing it for the sake of, like, something in return. Right. And which I would also love to ask you about. I would love to hear your thoughts on what it means to be generous not in order to get something in return. Like, why would we choose to live a life of giving towards others without the expectation of getting something in return? Does that make sense?
Yeah, it makes sense. Yeah, I think that in how we are wired and in the nature of I think in the way that we are wired and just how we are as people, we are made for community and being with people. And so I think that just naturally how the Lord has made us is for that community. And to build that, you're building it without the expectation to receive something back, knowing that you will. When you're in a community of people, if everyone's giving, then everyone is receiving back. And I think that is special in the context of if I'm being generous to someone, I may not necessarily get, if I give a monetary gift, am I getting monetary in return? No, but there is a building of a friendship in that, or building of a community in that. And I think if we went into groups of people or went into looking for friends or community with the intention of what can I get, then we already have a wrong understanding of what community is. I think you are part of it to be a part of it and to receive what would, you receive something either way. But I think sometimes people will go out looking for something that they need or desire, and then they'll give from that place of, well, if I do this, then I'll be in that crowd. If I offer this, then people will reciprocate and offer me back what I need, which is not the case. And I think that if you go into those places, you may never be fulfilled in that context. And I think using generosity as your gateway into that maybe is not the best way. But knowing that when you are generous, you are being generous for the sake of being generous and for the other person. And I think we live in a world where people are very self-focused and what I need, what I want, what I desire. And so I think we miss out on that. Yet so many of us are hungering for community and for people. And so if we can tie those two together and saying, how can I offer something to someone while also knowing I'm receiving something in return. And I think I found that when I found a really good group of friends and I realized all of us had something to offer each other and all of us were generous with everything that we have, and then we all somehow had everything that we needed, even if we were being generous past what we could naturally give. But I think I'm so thankful for just the generosity that I've received in community. It's only made my community stronger, and it's beautiful. It's beautiful to be a part of something like that. So
I love it. That's so good.
Yay.
That was the question I was wanting to get at.
Good, you got it. It took us a second to get there, but you got
made it.
Yes.
Oh, I love it. Okay. On that note, is there anything else that you've learned about generosity that you would like to add just to the conversation of generosity?
Yeah, I think there's so much that I can say. I think that this is part of my life that I don't necessarily like to talk about or bring up, and I love to keep it hidden, but I think I've learned so much in the way that something like praying for someone or taking someone out makes such an impact in their life. And sometimes it's something small. It's something small that the Lord uses and significantly changes the course of someone's life or someone's day. Both are both are as important.
Yeah.
I think I can give an example of a time where there's this young girl who she needed a friend to talk to, and the Lord had me give her a word, and that word, just being generous with my time and taking her out saying, hey, this is what I feel like the Lord is saying, completely changed her heart and mind on even where she wanted to go in her career, in life, in college. And it was all because I gave some time, and the Lord used my lunch hour to impact her life and bring peace, right?
Sorry.
No, it's okay.
Thanks.
So I think that I've been impacted in a manner with saying I'm one person, but I've seen how people can be impacted by that, and just how much the Lord loves people. He'll ask me to do something, and I'm like, that doesn't make sense. I honestly can't do that, or I'm not comfortable, or whatever. Maybe can't even be at that place, but I see him using that for the sake of people. And so, yeah, I think that if we were more generous, maybe we'd be more fulfilled. You would have community, you would have people, but it does require you to get outside of your comfort zone. And I think we've talked about too, like, yeah, we can be generous with what I know I have, but when you allow the Lord to use that gifting, there's an ability to be generous wherever you go. Whether that's being a little bit more kind to your server, calling them by their name, or sowing into someone's ministry or schooling or whatever. But yeah, I think I've been more rewarded in my life by watching the Lord do it. And I just get to, hand it over. And so I think it is stretching, and it is getting outside of yourself. But yeah, being selfless, I think, is worth it. There are a lot of people that need someone to be kind. They need someone to be generous. They need to feel the love of the Lord for them.
Yeah. I love it. We kind of joked about something Isaiah said in last month's podcast episode, when he was like, okay, if you need to stop thrifting so much, but I find that so good, because there is something about the inconvenience.
Yes.
Generosity is not convenient.
No.
Sometimes it's not as inconvenient as other times, right?
Sure.
But even when it comes to friends, it's not always convenient to drive 40 minutes to go see your friend, even if you really love them and care about them.
Yes.
You did today. For me, truly. Even if it is a blessing, and even if it is refreshing and is rewarding. Even if it is rewarding and refreshing, it still is not always convenient.
Yeah.
And it's just, that's kind of a pattern that I think I've noticed in every single episode we've done so far, is whether it's inviting people into your home, or spending time, or whatever it looks like. Giving of your means. None of it is convenient.
Right.
And I think we've gotten so comfortable. Like you said, the word comfort, and it just made me think of this. We've gotten really comfortable. And I think if we can break out of the box more, of not only what serves me, but what can I do to reach one person in front of me. It's so, you really don't understand the impact of it until you've done it, and until you've been either impacted by it, or you're impacted by it either way, whether it's through someone being generous towards you, or you being generous to someone,
And I think it makes your problems, your hardship not as big when you consider the people around you, when you consider the world around you. I think, again, we can get in our own little boxes, in our own heads, just with whatever's going on in life, whatever's going on, and just moving outside past that, and knowing that there are other things. There are people walking through things harder than us, worse than us. And so, there's inconvenience in generosity. There's sometimes that I do not want to walk up to the stranger to offer a compliment. That can be uncomfortable. Or, hey, can I pray for you? Or, well, Lord, I can choose between going thrifting, like Isaiah said, or sowing that into someone's ministry. There is a level of uncomfortability in all of that. But I also know that I've seen people go out of their way to help and be generous to me. And I say, wow, you did that. This woman that would be my mentor, who's married with kids, will inconvenience that for an hour of allowing me to be in her home for coffee, and seeing the life change that happened in that one time. And I know that's a hard sacrifice for someone in that season of life. But I think get out of your comfort zone a little bit.
Get out of your comfort
Yeah,
zone.
and
That's so
ask the
beautiful.
Lord how you can be generous.
Yeah.
Not all of us can give away $1 million tomorrow. But there may be someone who just needs you to buy their coffee. There may need someone who just needs an invitation for lunch.
Yeah.
Which I think you and I do that, just inviting people, and
Yeah.
however that conversation goes or that hour goes.
Yeah.
It's up to the Lord to let that seed be rooted and plant and bloom whatever
Comes
comes of it. Yeah, without the expectation. I think even too, I'll add that sometimes we're generous in a manner and we assume like we know what the outcome's going to be or what the fruit of that is going to be, thinking, oh, if I teach this young girl about finances and give her $100, maybe it'll be, it'll shift something. It's not my place to know
That's so
what
good.
that seed does in someone's life. I can't pan out, well, if I do this and then take her to lunch and then do that,
That's so helpful.
that's not my place.
Yeah.
It's not, it's too much pressure.
Yeah, it's
'Cause
not our
then-
responsibility.
Right,
Yeah.
it's not our responsibility,
Yeah.
because then I would think, oh, then I have to keep giving and keep doing it the same way, in the same manner, in the same frequency.
Yeah.
Then now I've become the owner of that, right, of that gift of generosity. So,
I'm
yeah,
so glad you
which
said that.
not my place. My place is to be obedient, to hand off
Yeah.
what God's asked me to do, and
That's
not
so-
feel like I have to control it.
Yeah. That's really good. How would you encourage those listening to be generous this week?
Yeah, this week I feel like time is always something that I think is really valuable. It's a currency that's valuable in our time. And so just taking time for someone,
Yeah.
taking 5 extra minutes to talk to someone, taking an hour out of your day to go to lunch or even pray for people. I think sometimes too, people don't have to see the generosity that you hand out. You saw it firsthand because you lived with me, right? But like
Not before that, though. I mean, yes, in
Yeah.
other ways, but definitely not to the extent. You're
yeah,
right.
and
Yeah.
people don't know the prayers that you pray for them, and I think even that too is an act of generosity. There are things that we need from the Lord, there are prayers that we have, but to just intercede for someone and spend a few minutes praying for someone and seeing what the Lord does with that, right? 5 minutes in 1 week is not a lot of time, but the fruit of that and the impact of that could be so powerful. And we may never see the fruit of that,
Yep.
but that's not, again, not my place to measure.
Yep.
I'm obedient to say, if the Lord's put someone on my heart, pray for them.
Yep.
Wherever you are, just
Yeah.
for a second and do that. And then the Lord he'll do that. His word doesn't return void, we know.
Yeah.
So yeah, I think even too, if it's not just a prayer, reach out to someone.
Yeah. And sometimes those things have to be planned. Like, I think in order to make that a habit,
Yeah.
those things have to be planned. I used to do, like, years ago, I would get in the habit of, like, putting a reminder in my phone weekly of, like, reach out to someone this week, reach out to someone this week. And it would just
Yes.
remind me every single week, like, who is one person
Yep.
that I can text. And I would just sit with it. Sometimes it'd be the very end of the week and literally the last day of the week.
Yep.
And I'm like, oh, that's the person.
Yes.
And I think, sometimes we underestimate the power of just repetition and like
Yeah.
discipline, even
Yep.
in those things.
Yes.
When it comes to taking time or
Yep.
in any capacity, like you were
Yep.
saying.
Yeah.
So yeah, plan it. Like you can also plan it.
Right.
Even like we did today.
Yes,
Like
yeah.
plan the time.
Plan the time, make
Yeah.
it happen. I think I used to write people's name on my hand and know, like, this is the person I'm praying
You
for.
did. I love that.
This week,
Yeah.
today,
Aw,
whatever.
that's
Just as a
awesome.
reminder of here's who
Yeah.
I'm taking time out. And you're right. Like, I could say I need to meet with this person and plan it, and the opportunity is not until a week later,
Yeah.
2 weeks later,
Yeah.
whatever. But
Yeah, love it. Aw, so beautiful.
yeah.
Well, thanks for joining.
Of course,
me.
thanks for having me. I love it. I love
fun.
this topic. I love the conversation. Just inviting people to just live outside yourself a little
Yeah,
bit.
let's experience
Yeah.
it together.